friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video I'm going to be putting together my first story project using the Transitions story kit from Ali Edwards. So this just came out on Thursday of last week, and I believe it is shipping as of Saturday, which is the 15th. Yes. So mine is currently in the mail, hopefully on its way here, but I wanted to go ahead and put some stuff together before it even got here because I do have it available to me digitally as well. So today's project is totally inspired by all of the die cut speech bubbles that are coming in the kit. So what I decided to do was to create a project about my daughter transitioning us into a more structured school setting. I am homeschooling her, but even though we've done some homeschool preschool stuff, it's only like an hour a day. And so going from that to kindergarten is going to be a little bit more intense, a few more hours than we were doing before. So it is a bit of a transition here. So what I did is I printed off a picture of my daughter and a picture of myself, and I am planning to put this in her story album side by side. They are both outside of the page protector, and then in between them I'm going to have this acetate piece, which is right here. So this is going to go back and forth between the two pictures. So then I have on this sheet, so this is a fabric printable paper sheet. I have printed out all of my speech bubbles with the journaling already on them. That's where the story will be told. But right down the middle here, I will cut down the middle, and then this will be one side and this will be the other side. So the idea is that these speech bubbles are going to go on this transparency. On this side, it'll be here, and then it will be the opposite on the opposite side. And in between all of the speech bubbles, you will be able to see my daughter, and you'll be able to see me. So there was some finagling I had to do digitally before I printed it off, but we did get it to work, and so I am super excited about that. I also have a couple of the chipboard circles that I printed on canvas paper, which is my first time using canvas paper, and it is awesome. It is so awesome. So I'm very excited to use that some more. And then that is pretty much going to be the spread for today. So what we're going to do, I am going to take you guys over to my computer so I can show you. Really what I'm going to show you is how I took the speech bubbles and I was able to make them reversed, or what I want to say flipped, but without the text flipping. So I'll show you how I did that in Photoshop, and then I am going to go and fussy cut this off screen, and then we're going to come back and assemble this page together. I am super excited to see how this all comes together. So let's go ahead and head over to the computer. Okay, you guys, so over here on Photoshop Creative Cloud, what I want to show you is how I took these die-cut speech bubbles and created a reverse version of them in order to create this element that's going to alternate between the two pictures. So this is essentially what my spread is going to look like when it's done. But the main thing that I'm working on here digitally is just this transparency that's going to go in between these two big photos. So when this moves, what it's going to look like, just so you can see it here, is it's going to go around the photo of me, and then it flips over and goes around the photo of my daughter. So if I were to actually put these both open here, you can see that they are a mirror image. However, I made it so that you could read the font on either side. So let me show you how I did that. First, what we'll do is open up, some of them are easier than others. Let's start with that. So for the die cuts that just have a pattern on them, all that I did was I took the file, opened it like this, and then went up to image rotation, and flip canvas horizontally. That is all that I needed to do for those. So there's a few of them. There's This one with the little star, there's the line pattern, this like mustard dot pattern, the hearts, and then this green floral. Is that it? And this heart. So all of those, I was able to just take them and flip them horizontally and call that a day. For the ones that have text in them, so let's do this one, Finding Beauty in the Transition. So I did all of these the exact same way. First thing that I did was to open up the speech bubble here. Then I'm going to grab my marquee tool and just draw a box around the text. So Finding Beauty in the Transition, right click it and layer via copy. Once I have that done, I want to open up an entirely new canvas. So let's just do a 6x4, sure. And then I am going to select that section that we copied. I'm going to copy it and paste it onto my canvas. Then we're going to go back and delete it off because we don't need it here anymore. Go up to Image, Image Rotation, and flip horizontally. Now here's the thing, when you flip it horizontally here, it's going to mirror the text, so you can't read it. So what we can do is grab this little piece that we cut out or copied, copy that and paste it, and then we can just replace that text on the speech bubble and merge everything together. And now our speech bubble is mirrored, but we can still read the text. So I did that for all of the speech bubbles that have text in them, the X and the O, Finding Beauty in the Transition, Taking It One Day at a Time, This Is My Story Right Now, Change, and A New Story is Beginning. So all of those I did the extracting the text, flipping the speech bubble, and then putting the text back on. So what I'm going to do now is get all of these speech bubbles printed out. I will also add my text. So I'm just going to print my text right on the bubble itself for this one here with the asterisks, the one with the mustard, and the one with the lines. So when it looks like this, I'm going to fill it in with Izzy's thoughts about school starting, and then on this side I'm going to fill it in with my thoughts about school starting, and we will go from there. So once I get everything printed off, I will meet you guys back over at the craft table and we will get this page put together. So after taking a while to go to the side and fussy cut all of those speech bubbles out, I am back and ready to put this thing together. So the first thing I'm going to do here is work on those photos themselves, just get them trimmed out, and then I need to get them hole punched, which I did have to make sure, like double check that I was hole punching the right side of the pages, because when I orient the speech bubbles onto the acetate piece, it is going to matter what side those photos are on. So I did just make sure to be very careful about that. So now those are hole punched, and I will go ahead and set them to the side and start working on the acetate piece. So what I did here, you guys saw that I designed this on the computer. So when I printed the speech bubbles out, I printed them all on one page with the fabric paper, but then I also printed out one of the like acetate piece, like exactly the way that I want it to be on just a piece of like plain copy paper so that I could use it as a template. So then I'm going to add that acetate piece right on top of the copy of that paper, and I taped it down onto my surface so that it would not move, and I could go ahead and position everything perfectly how I had it on the computer. So here you can see me pulling all of the speech bubbles out that are going to go on this side, making sure that they are positioned on there, that I have everything right, and then once I have all of that done, I will go ahead and start adhering it down. For this, I'm just going to use my double-sided adhesive. It works perfectly fine. It actually holds pretty well, especially to the acetate piece. It just takes really well to it. So I'm just going to use that and then add all of those pieces right on top of the acetate piece. I'm going to skip over a bunch of this so you don't have to watch me do it for the whole thing. And then once I get this last one done, we will take the washi tape off and then go ahead and flip over this page so we can add the other pieces to the back side. You will see that some of the pieces are overhanging. That's totally fine. I'm going to cut them off later once we get everything on here. And I did not trim down this acetate piece first. Like, I will do that once everything is adhered on. That just helps me make sure that everything is positioned correctly. So here you can see me start to add these pieces to the other side. Again, I'm going to skip over a bunch of it so you don't have to watch me put everything down on this page. And then I think this is the last one. We're going to get this one down, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim off the pieces that are hanging over the side. So with my journaling, I have two of the bubbles with journaling on them are ones that overhang the edge. With those, I did also make sure to put my text a little bit further towards the inside of my page, because I will be hole punching this and I don't want the holes to end up where the text is. So just keep that in mind if this is something that you want to try for a project of your own. And by the way, it does end up being pretty much perfect. So then we're going to trim that down to the size that it should be. I'm going to pull over my 6-hole punch, but this is way too thick, so I end up having to just use my power punch instead. So I'm going to go ahead and use that to punch out all of the holes. It probably worked out better anyway because I've got the acetate piece and 2 layers of that, what is it called? I'm losing it. Fabric paper, 2 layers of the fabric paper and the acetate. So it probably ended up being better that I used the power punch anyway, just to make sure that those holes are good and clear. Okay, so we are almost done with this page, and you can see here that it works perfect. I probably did actually like step to the side and do a dance because I was so excited. I was so excited that this worked out. Like, so excited. So the last thing I'm going to do is add on those chipboard circles, which are actually on canvas paper. I'm going to do my best to try and get it directly behind the speech bubble right there on the bottom. So I have one that's going to go on my side that says taking a deep breath and then taking the leap or something like that. And then I have one that will go on Izzy's picture that says bring on the next season or bring on the transition or something like that. Bring on the change. It's something like that. And I added these on these pictures because I wanted them to have something on it, but I really didn't want them to be super embellished since we have the speech bubbles which act as their embellishment. So just a little something that when you flip the page, there's a little extra on it. This one I put on sideways and I had to like pull it up super carefully, readjust it, and put it back down. And that is going to do it for this page. So let's go ahead and sew you guys back down. All right, guys, there we go. So this spread is all done and it came out perfectly, just how I saw it in my head and how I designed it on the computer. This interactive piece right here is just so much fun. I don't even know, I think just the speech bubbles, and I just thought it would be cool to put them around both of us. But I love that I was able to find a photo of both of us where I could position the bubbles to be around us on both sides of both pictures. So super, super cool. Yeah, and just a really fun kind of interactive piece right here. So I hope that gives you guys some inspiration and maybe a different way to use those die cuts or to use your digital elements for this particular kit. I know I had a blast playing around with it. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't already, so you can see all of my future crafty videos. I will be back again on Wednesday this week with a Project Life spread, and then again on Friday for Story Kit Crush. So I hope to see you guys back here then. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now.